the sand beneath steel. Dorian West hated the beach. The sun reminded him of promises that faded, and waves whispered truths he'd rather forget. But California called him back, not for the ocean, but for her. Lila Rowan, the woman with the high-waisted shorts and a stare sharp enough to cut steel, was an old ghost turned flame. They hadn't spoken in 2 years. Yet there he was, standing barefoot in the sand at Venice Pier, his sleeves rolled down, the ocean biting at his ankles. She arrived without warning, the same rebel grin on her face. "Still hate the beach?" she teased. And just like that, the quiet war between them resumed. Gravity's games. They drove north, chasing red lights through sleepy Pacific towns, not knowing if they were running from the past or toward it. The tension clung like fog, laughter 1 minute, silence the next. But their hands found each other, accidental at first, then deliberate. Lila pressed her cold fingers into the holes of Dorian's sweater, a move so simple yet seismic. The motel they crashed at sat beneath a cliff, half swallowed by mist. In that room, the gravity between them was undeniable. Every touch sparked memories. Every pause left things unsaid. But Dorian's past, dark and unresolved, wasn't done chasing them. When the silence screams, Lila awoke to headlights flooding the window and Dorian gone. She stepped outside barefoot, sweater hanging loose, heart hammering. He stood in the road facing a man in a charcoal coat, the collector. Years ago, Dorian had betrayed a shadow organization for freedom, and now they wanted him back, or buried. Lila didn't know the full story, but she saw the fear in Dorian's eyes. Inside, he mouthed, but she stayed. She always stayed. What followed was a dance of fists, smoke, and gunfire, quiet, brutal. She touched Dorian's neck after, his blood warm beneath her trembling fingers. The silence that followed screamed louder than bullets. Fire doesn't freeze, they ran. North, always north. Lila's laughter returned, cracked and unsure but real. They stopped in a redwood forest that smelled of rain and second chances. There, under trees older than history, Lila finally asked the question she'd carried since Venice. Why now? Dorian took her hands, placed them inside the holes of his sweater, and whispered, "Because it's too cold without you." She laughed, cried, hit him, kissed him. They built a fire, cooked instant noodles, and danced to a car radio playing static and 80s love songs. The past hadn't vanished, but for a night, it surrendered. The edge of always, they crossed the border into Oregon with fake IDs and real scars. The collector was still out there, and the world didn't promise safety. But together, they made it to a hidden cliffside cabin, a place with no reception, no mirrors, and no ghosts. Lila painted, Dorian wrote. Some nights were loud with thunder, others with memories they didn't dare speak. And yet, in the middle of it all, she would find his old sweater draped over a chair, waiting for her hands. That was how she knew, through storms, silence, and shattered paths, this wasn't a borrowed chapter. It was the start of something permanent.